Trusting our creativity is new behavior for many of us. It may feel quite threatening initially, not only to us, but also to our intimates. We may feel and look erratic. This erraticism is a normal part of getting unstuck, pulling free from the mug that has blocked us. It is important to remember that at first flush, going sane feels just like going crazy. And I love that because last year I was kind of literally going insane because you have to, short week, short chapter, right? Really important points. And it's basically what you have to solve within yourself in order to complete the rest of the book. And that is the hurdles that we can be to ourselves in our growth, and then the people around us that us maybe stepping into really our creative selves, like really pouring into our child, like that could trigger people around you. So Miss Cameron gets into it real quick. She's like, here are the people you need, here are the people that you know that are in your life. It's cute. I'm gonna get into it, but I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. I got like 80,000 notes. And then also what I really love about this is that I can compare my last year journal to this year journal, and just seeing how I've changed mentally. And yeah, it's gotten, this year's gotten real serious, but like, I love it. Anyways, let's see what I have. Yeah, I really wrote that down too again, like the whole going sane feels like going crazy, because if you've ever dealt with like imposter syndrome or not, just like, imposter syndrome, like not feeling like you could have this, or like you're in it and it doesn't feel like, you don't feel like you're wearing it right. It's not authentic to you. It's the attacks that we place on ourselves and the attacks that we get from blocked creatives around us that will sabotage our artists, will go lengths to, really pummel us back into being this very this really like, I don't even do it. I don't even know the fucking word for it. That's how like much like just just being like really in a box for other people. And it's like, people will love to keep you in a box, but baby, this is she's like, here's how we're gonna do that. So there's three common devils in the game. There are three common devils in the game that you will approach as you pursue your creative child and your artist, your truest. So the first, she calls them poisonous playmates. Now these people discourage you from being unblocked, basically. And if you've ever been like in a group, previous group, whatever, or like maybe you're in a group now, I don't, where the habits are all shared. I mean, they say like you are basically kind of you're made up of like the 5 closest people to you, kind of, because basically that's who you share your most communication, your thoughts, your habits, your routines, And when, per se, the example that she uses here is like celebrating your new sobriety. Like, you're like, I'm not drinking no more, like this. Going to the bar and telling your drinking friends that they may not be as supportive, or like it's gonna be hard to get probably a real applause from, if that's that's the bond that y'all share, but if that's what you need to do to get from here to here, there's gonna be people who can get triggered, who will be triggered by your decisions, who will be triggered by your growth, because that's also kind of a mirror to them. Maybe in some ways that they have some things that they probably want to change, or they want to get to here, but they know they need to do such and say whatever. What did she put here? Recovers. Just want to make sure I'm not missing any of the way she describes it, because she gets into real detail. I kind of sum it up into like a sentence, but no, yeah, these are blocked creatives. These people tend to guilt you back into the version of you that they were most comfortable with. when it comes to, yeah, and Block friends may find your recovery disturbing because, or cynical, like just a lot of negative energy that your growth doesn't need, a lot of bullshit that your plant does not need. So it's very important to not let these people around you. If you're like an out of sight, out of mind kind of person too, like you just need to get around people who get what you're trying to do for you. So, and like just hearing that and being around that type of environment can make all the difference. And let's see, I highlighted this little piece right here. I don't know, it's cute. Your own healing is the greatest message of hope for others. So also on one side, when you have these people who speak down maybe about who you're becoming, they say you're becoming different. Ooh, they say you're acting weird. Ooh, trigger words. Like it's also a telltale sign, like you're doing the damn thing and you're So on the opposite side of that, you're gonna have people who are inspired by the changes that you're making, who are like, damn, like if they doing it, like no, maybe like that there's something for me there too. So it's like you pursue that with those people in mind, that like you fulfilling your purpose is also helping people trigger them into their own purposes. It's like, it's awesome. So there's that. The second is crazy makers, and she's hilarious. Okay, so crazy makers are, and it's so hard to even just sum it up in a sentence because there's so many different kinds, but the best I could do was, when you need support, or like, yeah, when you need support, these folks will do everything and anything to be in your way and they just create different ways to drain you, because it's just a radar or something, and they know that like you're coming up, you're doing the damn thing, and they have to literally, I mean, they're like, how the audio, how can I make this about me, but like in the worst fucking possible way. So no, these people are very calculated. Everything has to be about them. The spotlight is on them. And she talks about a crazy maker who was a director, and basically drove his crew fucking insane, because, you know, they're grounded in like this real power dynamic, so they just make things really difficult for the people around them. But like the crazy makers that you might hear, if anybody comes to mind, right. So she says crazy makers break deals and destroy schedules. So these are like the time and considerate people. Like, say like you have a big interview or like a paper that's due, and then all of a sudden they are calling you up like, I need a ride to the store. And it's like, they know what you got going on, but it's like, no, and then knowing you with your beautiful energy, that's why they do what the fuck they do. They feed off of the purest of pure. So second, crazy makers expect special treatment. So once again, you could also be doing something that's very important, that is like, you know, make or break job type, and they're like, I need you to come, like I just twisted my ankle, like I need you to come, like do this for me, do that. And I mean, I'm never opposed to, I'm not saying don't take care of people, just clock it when it's a little bit too suspiciously timed. Okay, and pattern recognition will get y'all so far, will get all of us so far, everybody. Crazy makers, they discount your reality. Says no matter how important your deadline or how critical your work trajectory is at the moment, crazy makers will violate your needs. They may act as though they hear your boundaries and will respect them, but in practice, act is the operative word. Crazy makers are the people who call you at midnight or 6 a.m. saying, I know you asked me not to, oh, yeah, sorry, just rereading it kind of triggered me. And these are the people who will call you at like midnight or 6 a.m. saying, I know you asked me not to call you at this time, but like, it's just basic, blatant inconsideration, but then trying to be like kind about it, whatever. Or be like, oh, this will only take a minute. It's like, yeah, your minute. Like, anyways, crazy, like, and then going into that, crazy makers will spend your time and your money. They will borrow your car and then return it late with an empty tank. The travel arrangements always cost you time or money. It's expensive. It's expensive dealing with these motherfuckers. Crazy makers triangulate those they deal with. So they might be pitting you against saying so-and-so said this and this and this. Just drama, just a lot of hearsay. So once again, just tune that out. Crazy makers are expert blamers. Oh, nothing is ever their fault. It's always your fault. It's always the people at Starbucks who were late with their coffee, even though they were already running late to their job. Whatever. Crazy makers create drama, but seldom where they belong. They just know good things are happening, and they're like, how can I literally rain on this parade? Crazy makers hate schedules, except their own. Once again, time and considerate, but they want your time. Crazy makers hate order, and because they thrive in that chaos. And then crazy makers deny that they're crazy makers, because actually no. There is a lot of power for people, for crazy makers that can see their toxic ways. That's growth, and I love that. And if that's you, per period poo. But genuine crazy makers, real narcissistic, you can't tell them shit about themselves. So you can't fix, I don't know, there's nothing to fix there if they can't see it. So yes, these are all different people who have no problem stepping on your creative artist. They're like, whatever it is to keep you, and we're not staying in. No. This is the part where we defeat all these people so we can be out. Which gets into the third and final devil, which I was like, ooh. And it ain't even people, it's you. It's your skepticism. Because what would be the point of doing really the rest of this book? The whole mission is the artist's way, for you to find your way as an artist. What would be the point of the rest of the book if you were skeptic about your own success? If you were like, can I really do this? Can I really have this? So I love how she puts this kind of at the beginning, because she's kind of saying like, hey, if you want to drop the class, this is the time to do it. Because at the end of the day, I mean, people are just people, and it's kind of like, who are they? You're only really focused on those who cheer for you and are looking for you. Okay, cool. And then also, but then with that also, like, hate is also attention. So that's what I'm saying. People are people, attention is attention. Cool. But you can have all these people cheering you on, whatever. But if like you don't think you could be this, you could have this, you could have this lifestyle, you could have this career, you could have this. There's no point. I'm sorry to say. Like, skepticism has, in the past for me, I think, it just takes up time. It takes up a lot of your creative time, things that you could have been, because it's like, oh, if I start now, then it's like, just start every day. You're like, but is it too late? Every day you're asking that question. That is another day. It's just, if it's on your heart, if pursuing you is on your heart, that has to rank higher than any skeptic. Like, and it is not an overnight. It is not, okay, wake up tomorrow, you're no longer skeptic. No. It's you constantly, every time it's coming at you, like, that's really what it is. You're constantly boxing with yourself until you beat that motherfucker. And you show them who's boss, because it's like, no, highest self me, that's what I'm on, and that's what I'm after. And I'm gonna go all 12 rounds for it. Is it 11 rounds? Like, no, whatever. So no, you have to basically fight yourself into believing that this is your timeline. This is what the fuck you on, and there's no way around that. And I think, is that agency? Is skepticism the opposite of agency? Hold on, I gotta cook on that for a sec. Because agency is like, I'm gonna go do it. And there's, yes. Okay, if I had to just sum it up, someone can help me out with that. But literally, once you go from skepticism to like die-hard agency, like, I'm on this shit, and the rest of this book is a real good time. Because then I promise you, once you get out of your own way, you learn to get out of your own way, you can get anything you want. You get out of your own way, that's the final hurdle. And then after that, it's just people. And like we said, you could use that's slight work. Either you love me or you're out the way. You love me or you like it's, but you have to learn to cheer for yourself and be so about yourself first and drill that through your head. Then you can have anything you want. Promise. Promise, promise, promise. Okay. So then she goes from that. From the Boss Devils. And then she goes into attention, which I thought was kind of like a weird, like kind of like transition, but here, I'll give you the first paragraph. Very often, a creative block manifests itself as an addiction to fantasy. Rather than working or living the now, we spin our wheels and indulge in daydreams of could have, would have, should have. One of the great misconceptions about the artistic life is that it entails great swaths of aimlessness. The truth is that a creative life involves great swaths of attention. Attention is a way to connect and survive. And this, I think, what's crazy is that this book came out, I don't want to get the year wrong, but I want to say it was like the 1980s, 1990s. And even after 30, 40 or so years, it's still, every section is still, is timeless. Because in terms of attention here, this was way before social media, television, ads, AI, but it all still applies. She talks about how when we pay attention, hold on, she like quoted it really cool over here too. Let's see. The quality of life is in proportion always to the capacity for delight. The capacity for delight is the gift of paying attention. So, and I think we're definitely in an attention economy too. Like, loading. Thoughts loading. As an artist, being able to pay attention and really sit in the moment and listen, like, I'm sorry, like this listening to bird shit is like, this is my shit. But even going on a walk, just noticing, just looking, I think for me, it's like a really bringing to center. It's really grounding. And then it also gives me the bigger picture of things. It grounds me because it shows me like, no matter what I got going on, like around me, this and this, like in this moment, I got birds chirping on my fence. The trees are green. It's a really nice breeze. It centers me. And then it also shows you the bigger picture of things, that no matter what I got going on, there is beauty in the mundane. And with social media, I think we need to figure out where we are spending our attention. I got off of TikTok back in August because I came to the realization I was absolutely consuming and indulging in other people's lives a lot more than actually building and developing my own. That I was spending a lot of attention monies on other things. And, you know, you start to get into comparison, you start to get into, you know, people with different levels of support and money and foundations that you never had, but you're over here like, why don't I have this? So then you get into lack, and then you get into FOMO, and then no, you step out, you log off, you delete, you know, dismiss the scroll for a bit. You go dive into what you got. You see, you get yourself a nice little meal, call a friend, sit, stargaze, cloud gaze. Just see what comes to mind. Just see, when you give your attention to you and the things that are directly around you, see what comes to mind. I love going on walks for that specific reason. I hear that's really good for like some like eye recognition, something like that. There's always a new reel or some shit that I'm saving. But just being in the present and noticing, not in the future, not the what ifs, not the people online giving their predictions, not living in their future and their what ifs, not being in the past, not being regret, not being shoulda. Be here now. What do you want now? How do you feel right now? What do you see right now? What does it sound like right now? She talks, she writes about attention for a couple pages, mainly to kind of give like an example. She talks about her grandmother. I guess she journaled a lot, wrote a lot of letters. And it's like every little thing was a moment, you know. She says here, Dad's cough is getting worse. Joanne is back in the hospital. We named the new boxer Trixie, and she likes to sleep in my cactus bed. And through the life of her grandmother's eyes, she just was able to notice that her grandmother was just able to spot miracles in these smallest and slightest of things. And even when oh wait, let me not get this wrong. Let me not speak on this woman's mother. Hold on. Hold on. I think. No, she put it so pretty. Oh yeah. Even when, when Miss Cameron, the night her mother died, she recalls, you know, that every time she thinks of that night when she got the call and she went outside and she saw it was a snowy moon over the palm trees, like just in very vivid detail, the scenery around her, like in all of it, she's able to have comfort and delight in that, you know, the moon was snowy, you know. And her grandmother, I like this too. She said, my grandmother knew what a painful life had taught her. Success or failure, the truth of life has little to do with its quality. The quality of life is in proportion always to the capacity for delight. The capacity for delight is the gift of paying attention. So, and then she have one more about that. Because I want this to kind of stick, because like I said, I felt like this kind of section was a little bit out of place, but it also is it's like, I feel like it's necessary just in any day life, like what you're putting your attention to and how you're viewing things, like how your point of view is lensed and things like that. That does make all the difference in a day, and how you enjoy a day, and how you delight in a day. So then she leaves it at that. And then she's like, your task for the week. So I went 7 for 7 every morning. I promise you, I'm like, no, I'm getting back into it. And I'm going in, because these morning pages, I've hoped since the last video, if I've encouraged you any, I really hope that I've gotten you to at least pick up a notebook and then at least do one entry. All the answers you need, I promise you, are, and especially if like you are limited in who you have access to really speak to and things like that, like have someone to talk to and things like that, it's all up here. And then the conversation, get that down. Oh yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time, what you find out. And like, especially if you're stuck and you're like, I need to move this lever, I need to move this mountain, you will literally write out how to do it. That's why she recommends 3 pages and not 1, because like, you'll notice like you write 1 page and it's kind of like, you just want to summarize. Like you'll find yourself like, at first, like, okay, let me just do it. It feels like a page would just be a quick summary, so you wouldn't really like dive too deep into it. You'll probably just be like, Page 2, you're kind of rambling a bit. You're like, okay, I don't know what. By page 3, that's where everything's at. Tried and true, promise. I be like a conductor like that. Like by that third page, like I'm bringing it home. I'm like, and then it's like, oh shit, everything makes sense. Again, thank God. So please, please, please. Yeah, so I did that. The task for this week wants us to read the basic principles. I'm not sure if that's on the Spotify version, the before chapter 1, because she gives you like a list of basic principles to read to yourself. So that's the first exercise. And then 2, she wants you to journal about where does your time go, list 5 major activities this week, and how much time should you give to each one. This also is a great indicator of like, just where the hell is the week going? And then where do you want the week to go? And then, yeah. Oh, she also does this really fun pie chart kind of activity where you take a circle and you divide it into 6 sections. And the 6 sections are spirituality, exercise, play, work, friends, and then romance/adventure. And boy, okay, I would say this is progress. This is progress. So I have to eat that. But it's just funny how a year later I'm still kind of in the same spot. So in terms of, you're all funky. So in terms of like spirituality, fun, let me see. No. Spirituality, exercise, like I'm good. Work is cool. Friends are amazing. Play kind of changed for me this year because I kind of interpreted play as rest also, because I've never really been like a play kind of girl, but I'm like, I love to not do what I don't have to do. So I would say that would be a difference that I've kind of healed. So my circle's kind of trying to get there, but romance and adventure ain't shit changed. That's the last one I need. So, and I think that also goes hand in hand with my my artist child. Sorry, I'm always like, because I'm like inner artist, child artist. Oh yeah, but it also goes hand in hand with my child artist, because something I've come to find out with this book is that because the way she describes, like, you know, your inner child is like, I don't know, I feel like that would be like maybe like a 7-year-old, like a, you know, you're like the most creative doodling, whatever. That was a cute chair. I'm nosy. That was a cute chair. It was like kind of like a throne, like on somebody's back. They pick up. Oh, notice my child is definitely not a child. I feel like the last time I was really creative, and it kind of got like, that's what she got her. Like I would say like 13 or 14. So now I'm like, ugh. Because me personally, I work with kids. I work with kindergarten through 2nd grade. And I love the creativity. I love like pouring into them. Like I love they just light up. I don't think I could work with teens because they're at that point, a lot of them, I mean, maybe I was too, you know, depending on like their circumstances and how much they've been poured into, you could tell like which teens are just super jaded, which ones are super like anxious, reserved. They're not as receptive if they didn't get that early on. And so that's where when I realized, no, your kid is a teen, I'm like, it's a mirror. I promise you, this book brings up a mirror in many ways, and it's so fun. But I realized my kid, my artist is a teen, and I've been avoiding that teen because I don't know how to talk to that teen. But this is where these artist dates come in that I'm supposed to be doing weekly, and that's why I didn't do them at all last year, because I was like, my artist child don't feel like a child, because I didn't want to work with my teen. And I think it's really sweet that now I'm like, I think that's definitely a full circle healing moment. It's like, no, I'm ready to come back to visit this individual who did not get what they needed. I'm not gonna do them like they got did. I'm here for it. I'm playing big, you know, big sister to 13-year-old self. But basically, but what I also come to find out is that because it was like the last time I had like that level of like creativity, it's like jaded cowgirl 28-year-old Yana is teaming up with scorned artist 14-year-old Sour Patch Kid. Ooh, it's like evil twin. Like now it's fun, and now I think I could approach artist dates from that perspective. And I'm like, you know what? No. At teenage me, what the fuck? What's fun? What are we trying to do? And so this weekend, my artist date, in a sense, was not finishing my to-do list. I made a meal that I really, really liked because it was also the Taurus full moon. And in Taurus, it's all about basically like real luxurious feelings, foods, comfort. And as a Taurus rising, I'm like, what a better date? What a better date? So, no, I ate, I went thrifting, I got some jeans and some new fabric that I'm gonna try out because I want to try to make some Muay Thai shorts. That shit might be hard. And just like, and I clean up my space because I wash my sheets, just really getting comfortable. And I think that's what my team likes. So I'm excited to see what this week's date's gonna be because I'm just sewing all week, and that's gonna be a whole other thing. But yes. Then also with the full moon, so if you're into like moons and shit, so for when it comes to full moons, that's usually a really good time to release and write off, write things that you don't want, burn it, and all the woo-woo. And then for new moons, it's about calling in. So basically, like the full moon is moving things out. The new moon is you calling the stuff in now. Like you have the room for it. Like, okay, what you want to bring in. Another YouTuber was talking about this new moon in particular, saying like, oh, if it feels like it has kind of some remnants of like full moon kind of energy, like you feel like you are both purging and calling things in, that sounds about right. And I'm just like, that does sound about right, because I was, like I said, I was cleaning my space, I'm throwing away things. I'm real big on like feng shui and not keeping too many broken items, not like blah, 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 blah. So I was purging, I was sweeping basically to make room for all the things that I want to bring in. And then later that night, I went cray on the affirmations because I really need to get back into scripting like that, because it really does wonders for me. But it's like the act, like I gotta do it. Like, I can say it, but writing it out, especially in some blue ink, I'm letting you know. So yes. With that, she also had the perfect timing. She has a number 8, her 10 tiny changes that you like to make exercise. So you're gonna list 10 changes that you like to make for yourself, from like small to like, like either, paint your kitchen, trying to go to China, trying to leave that bitch ass friend that no, I'm just playing. She describes it in here. She said, dump my bitchy friend Alice. So hopefully she ain't talking to whoever the hell Alice is. But you're gonna add these to your morning pages, and you start them off with, I would like to blank. I would like to blank. Perfect exercise for this new moon. So if there's 10 things in your life that you want to change, that you would like to see changed, just go hit that list real quick. I really, really like that exercise. And it also, once again, like comparing my list from this year's, the difference that I've seen is that I wanted a lot of things. Like, I would like to own my own custom grill, which is still on the agenda. So I would like to get my Lover Girl tattoo set. I have like a whole map in mind. And it's like just things, but like I really had to get deep in my wording for this year. So then I'm not calling in some trick play or something. Like, like I'm in my luckiest, most loving era yet. I'm shifting into a very favorite timeline. I would like to release any and all blocks between me and my abundance. I would like to be encouraged and rewarded often from my guides, team, and God. Like, the growth. It's growth. I mean, I still want things, but that's a whole other list. And no, I really like that exercise too, and seeing the difference. She also asked you to list 20 things that you enjoy doing, and then writing a date next to it, like when the last time you did that, and basically saying like if it's been forever, you might want to go hit that. It also makes for a really great artist date. Oh, and then she wants you to add to your imaginary lives. So now, instead of 5 imaginary lives, you have 10 imaginary lives to pursue. So yeah, I was beating that up. Oh, and I'm excited. So, but what's, oh, yes, that's why you need it. Okay, do this year. Keep the journal. Run it back next year. Because this is what I'm saying. This is why I love this so much, was because in writing, in the exercise, writing 20 things that I enjoyed doing. Last year, you know, I had my 20 things, but for whatever reason, I had like put a box around designing. I don't have any, like around this time, I didn't have any type of design experience. I did not know how to sew. I did not know how to use a sewing machine. But it's like, no, I want to design. Okay, whatever. Fast forward to this year, I taught myself how to use a sewing machine. I'm like really decorating. I'm really getting into fashion, product, display, and then I like now I also want to, and like it's always been on my mind to do like a walkwear kind of brand, which I wrote in here in my last year journal too, like I want to design walking clothes. And I think I had just started walking for real, like, so it's just that type of connection is like, okay, this is still on my heart a year later. So yeah, for my 6th imaginary life, obviously I'm like the clothing designer, because I could, in a year's time from now, I feel like that shit's gonna be so crazy, because I'm really in it right now and it's really fun. And it's also teaching me how to be a student when there was a time that I, you know, just patience, you know, and I'm like mastered it, I'm in it, and now I'm allowing myself to get into it. So I'm really excited. Number 7, the hope. I've been getting a lot of signs and synchronicities that are kind of pointing to me to say like, you need to keep doing what you're doing, and then it's going to help bring people into it's going to activate other people to get into their shit. So I love that, and I want to keep doing that. But to do that, I have to fulfill my 8th imaginary life, which is being the YouTuber. So I think this is going to be the easiest way for me to get my, what would you call it, my knowledge across, my tips, because I like to write. And so I'm on Substack. I've been on Substack for a year heavy, and I've gotten a few subscribers for that. So that's awesome. I'm able to reach communities that prefer reading social media content, like as opposed to photos and videos, because I was like, I didn't want to do the whole TikTok route. I mean, I did, and it's too much competing with other, like I said, it's the attention economy. So it's like, it affects me trying to compete with that, and also trying to remain in my creative, in my natural, authentic, and then no. So I'm like, I'm gonna figure out a way to do this, but in my own terms, I guess. So now I'm on YouTube, and I think this definitely works for me, and I love that. So yes, YouTuber. 9, the loose cannon. Like I said, anybody who knows me or has known me at any phase, like, one ain't shit changed is that I be doing a lot of shit, and I love doing a lot of shit. I love doing stuff that no one kind of sees coming. I love doing things that I find out I love, and I stop doing things that I find out I don't love. Like, I love being flexible. So I want to continue with that type of like pop of spontaneity, and it's a fun game for me, because it's like, it's never boring. I cannot get stagnant when it comes to creating. I can't keep doing the same thing over and over again. Like, it's a real freaking nature type, how my brain kind of like expands just all the things I want to do. So, and I think that's going to take me pretty far. I'm gonna find the right people for sure. And then last, number 10 is Vanellope Von Schweet. And this is for my inner teen because I can't think of a better character to think of her as. You know, like, now I want to go watch it and watch Wrecking Ball. But I just love, like, this little girl ain't had, not a whole lot, not the support that she needed, but she was able to create a bitchin' car. She said, I'm gonna get in this race and I'm gonna do the damn thing. And like, she's stubborn, like it's just everything. Like, the more I think about it, and I want to definitely depict that tenacity. I want to incorporate that type of like hard-headed, like you finna see me type. And that'll be my ode and date to my inner autist child. So with that, I hope that you are also actively just pursuing the things you want. I think at this time in America, what's been getting on my nerves, I think kind of the most, is the way people, like I said, there's a lot of people who can make content that shouldn't be making content. So they're getting in your head, putting these like fears and doom into your mind instead of a more, it kind of feels like I'm on the Titanic and there's these people just running, like, I don't think that's a good example. Okay, per se, I'm in a park somewhere, whatever, and there's just people running around just like they heads fucking cut off, just over here like, we're gonna die, another. That's just stressful. There's no one at the park. What we need more of, which is what I hope to be for y'all, is we need more people at the park that are like more like a booth, or like just like a Costco sample person, kind of be like, yeah, there's an earthquake, but here's what I have for you to get ready for it. Here's what I have for you to, get past this, because we get past things. Like I need to do more research on it, because I really do want to give you guys like an in-depth take on this, because if I'm correct, just from what I've seen so far, is that history repeats itself. Empires have collapsed, but they have also had to rebuild something new. When people keep saying this is the end, yes, this is the end of this. This is the end of this bullshit. This is the end of this bullshit ass system. And now, what a beautiful time for us to create, for us to build something new, for you to build something new for yourself, for you to, not adhere to this outdated American dream. Create your own fucking dream. It's time. It's time for you to get into your dream, because you need to build something that works for you. Like how I've been feeling through all of this ever since got into office. Yes, everybody was, like I said, running around with their heads cut off. End of the world. This is it. For some reason, I just went like straight mole. I went straight mole rat, and I went underground and I just started building. I'm like, okay, if y'all gonna be chaos and woo up here, I'm gonna go down here, get myself together and build something a route, a system that works for me. And I pray, whoever's watching, if you've been needing some sort of sign to get started on you, this is it. Real shit. Please, like, what happens when that happens is that, have you ever played like a Telltale game, or like Walking Dead, or like one of those option choice-based games? Is that I am leading with the point, and then I want to word the next part a very certain way, but I get presented 4 different options, and then I'm like looking through each one, and then I realize that silence and time has passed. So forgive me, because I really like to word things with maximum potency, maximum intent. Like, it hits the mark exactly. So, excuse me for that. But, seeing it so bad, I lost my damn train of thought. Anyways, no, like I said, I want everybody to be getting to them and make something that works for you, something that you love to do, something that you enjoy. And like I said, get past the skepticism, toss the, box it every day, because especially if something has been on your heart heavy, there is a reason. If it keeps coming back to you, there is a reason. I don't think people should be pursuing careers. I think people should be pursuing their purpose, and then may it make them some money, I guess. Money should be the bonus, but whatever you're doing, I pray it gives you fulfillment. I pray it gives you purpose, something that wakes you up in the morning, even if that's a mix of things. And that's what another thing too, I feel like we're kind of headed to, like, the traditional one job is super out. So if you're going to be doing multiple things, it better be multiple things that you enjoy. It better be multiple things. And there, of course, life and people are going to make it hard, because how dare you do something that you enjoy? They're going to make it easier for you to do shit that you don't really care about, or to do things for a database, or for a billionaire, or for that they'll make it very easy for you to do if you want to hop in that. Is all it's going to cost you is your personal fulfillment and joy. That's where I'm here to say, baby. I'm going to teach you how to build it. I'm going to teach you how to build it, and it's not expensive. I think the most expensive thing I've learned, the most this journey has cost me, is time. And I loved investing every cent. Every cent. It's worth it. It's worth it to have something that's very yours, very you, very yours, and that serves other people for the greater good. Look up the word ikigai. That's kind of what a lot of my philosophy is based on too. A lot of Japanese fundamentals and things like that. But overall, ikigai. There's also a book called Ikigai: the Pursuit of Happiness, something like that. It's a really good book. Check that out. But it's Sunday. We're up. You up, I'm up. It's beautiful outside, and I pray that it's, nice where whoever's watching, where y'all are at, and that you get everything that is yours to come. I pray that in your pursuit of you, that you are favored, you are seen, you are encouraged, you are loved, and you receive signs that basically say, like, yeah, this is it. This is you. This is for you. And I pray you're affirmed every time. Amen. So I'm going to leave it with that. I got to go sew. I got 10 pairs of jeans to sew. I don't know if I should reveal why I'm sewing these jeans just yet. I'm going to do a reel on it later. I'm over here acting like I got 100K. But I have to speak that into existence. I have to believe that this is going to an audience of like 100,000. So I'm going to keep it a secret. And then I'll post the reel, but I got a lot of sewing to do. So how do I sign this off? Thank you. Love you. Be safe. Be well. Talk to you soon.